All right, what's going on, guys? So just wanted to do a quick update for you guys. I'm going to do this video as kind of like a voiceover over my training from the last week, and just kind of summarize my thoughts on how the prep is going so far. I recorded a podcast with Cliff Wilson just last week, and that's up live on the channel now and also on iTunes. And one of the reoccurring themes that I sort of noticed in this conversation was that there are really no tricks. There's no secret to getting stage lean. And most of the time it really does just boil down to continuing to diet, pushing a little bit harder, maybe digging a little deeper, and just giving yourself plenty of time to get ready. And even amongst, the best coaches in the business, there really isn't any one secret protocol that we can turn to get you there. It's just a matter of continuing to push, continuing to grind, keep dieting. Even when you think you're completely ready, just continue to push it a little bit further. And this is something that I've really taken on in this prep. I've given myself 20 weeks and I've already been dieting for 8 weeks. So I'm almost at the halfway point already. And in comparison to other preps, it just doesn't feel as though I've been dieting for 8 weeks already. The time has just completely flown by. I think that's because I'm just taking a slow and steady approach, and everything is still just livable at this point. My macros haven't gotten reduced to the point where I feel depleted or hungry all the time or energy deprived or anything like that. Yes, once in a while, my mood will be a little bit more depressed, or things that wouldn't typically annoy me so much might annoy me a little bit more, might be a little bit more irritable. But that was actually more so at the beginning of the cut when I first started than how I am now. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I've just sort of embraced the fact that this is what I'm doing and it's what I want to do, and these are just macros, like it's just bodybuilding, and it's nothing worth affecting your personal life over. And I guess I've just settled into a way of prepping now where it just feels more sustainable than it would have been in the past, where you have a really strict deadline, you feel rushed against the clock all the time, you feel like you're always playing catch up. That's something that I'm really enjoying about this prep. I've also really noticed a difference psychologically in having a coach take over. On my last contest prep, I ran everything myself, and this can be a huge psychological burden for yourself, because looking at yourself in the mirror and not sort of having that unbiased eye to give you a second opinion can constantly just play on your mind. You can second guess things, and even if you have a lot of experience coaching other people, it's still sometimes difficult to know when or how early to pull the trigger on your macros or make changes. Having Eric as someone who I trust in has allowed me to just relax and just follow the protocol, trust the process. I don't think I'll ever be going back to doing a prep on my own again. I just feel that I'm able to be so much more at ease with what I do when I know that having to worry about getting me in stage shape is in someone else's hands. And that isn't to say that you can't guide yourself through the coaching process. I've done it myself, but from a standpoint of just psychological health and even just a little bit of extra reassurance and stability, I would definitely highly recommend just getting a coach, because there are enough coaches out there who are science-based and who are going to lead you down the right path. And at 175 grams of protein, 250 grams of carbs, and 55 grams of fat. And I don't always hit those dead on. I'll usually be off by 5 grams on each up or down. So if I am, say, over 5 grams on fats, I will scale the carbs down, say 10 grams or so that the overall calories will still be pretty similar from day to day. That's just a viewpoint that I've always had when it comes to contest prep, nutrition and training and everything, is that that little bit of extra dietary freedom in the form of not focusing so much on the precision can allow for a lot less stress in my experience, and it frees up your options to enjoy some different foods and things like that. Lately I've also been doing something that I call bracketing my day. So I'll wake up, I'll have the exact same breakfast every morning, which is scrambled egg whites with some fat-free cheese on it, and then 60 grams of oatmeal and some berries. And that just allows me to, for one, save some time, because it can be a pain, you know, you wake up, what am I gonna have for breakfast today? If it's different from day to day, you can kill a bunch of time just thinking about what you're gonna have, and then you have to enter it all into MyFitnessPal individually. I would rather have a little bit more set structure than that. So when I wake up, I know exactly what I'm gonna have. I can just copy it over from the previous day, and I just find that to be so convenient. And then I also will add in my last meal, which is usually my 4th or 5th meal of the day, at the beginning of the day. So I know that I always have those macros there. And if I do want to change the meal a little bit, I at least have it accounted for ahead of time, so that, you know, the end of the day doesn't come and I'm not super hungry going to bed. And that last meal is a salad, just a ton of romaine lettuce with chicken breast and goat cheese, low-fat salad dressing, and usually like some berries, zucchini, mushrooms, or whatever. And it's just this huge pile of food, so I can always go to bed having a relatively full stomach, and that just helps me sleep a little bit better. And then in between those meals, I'll have the freedom to fit the rest of my macros how I please, because I do take care of my fruit and veggie requirements in those 2 meals for the most part. And then with the other meals in between, I can fit in some foods that I enjoy and give myself a little bit of extra dietary flexibility without losing that sort of baseline level of structure. Still just doing 3 to 4 cardio sessions per week. I'll either do that in the morning in the form of a walk outdoors, or I'll do the elliptical or the bike after my workout. And during that, I'll usually just read or listen to a podcast or something, and that hasn't become too much of a difficulty yet. My weight has been stable for about 2 weeks now at around 156. So I'm anticipating that I'll be getting a drop in macros soon, but I am ready for it. Like I said, I feel as though I've adapted to these macros and I just feel comfortable on them. So I feel ready to give it a little extra push at this point and just continue to take things as they come. I'm really excited for the rest of this prep. The Natty Professor is going to be competing at the same competition as me. He won the Muscle Mayhem in California this year, and I won it the year previous, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that showdown. But that's just a little bit of extra motivation for me to keep pushing and keep training as hard as I possibly can. All right, guys, so that's going to conclude the commentary on the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed the rest of this training footage, and thanks for all the support, and feel free to like the video and subscribe if you're enjoying this sort of content. Thanks again for watching.